a wonderful life, and so I'm not as freaked out as I was when I had a young child. Collie was 9 or 8 when I went through it the first time. And
Olivia Newton-John, the beloved actress and singer, has died at the age of 73.
Olivia Newton-John, the beloved singer and actress, was reportedly never invited back to The Tonight Show after one shocking incident. Rumors suggest she did something so unexpected during her appearance that producers decided not to bring her back. This came as a surprise to many, considering Olivia's immense popularity at the time. Fans have long speculated about what really happened that night, fueling curiosity and debate. Alongside this mystery, questions continue to swirl about her rise to fame, her personal struggles, and alleged character flaws. Join us as we uncover the surprising moment that left Johnny Carson stunned and changed Olivia's relationship with The Tonight Show forever. Early childhood life and background. Olivia Newton-John was born on September 26, 1948, in the historic city of Cambridge, England. Her parents, Brinley Bryn Newton-John and Irene Helen Bourne, both came from distinguished backgrounds. Her father, a Welshman, hailed from a middle-class family, while her mother's roots carried remarkable depth and legacy. Olivia was raised in a family of high achievers, enriched with intellect, culture, and history. Her maternal grandmother, Irene, was of German-Jewish descent. Her family fled to the United Kingdom in 1933 to escape the rising threat of the Nazis. Olivia's maternal grandfather was none other than Max Born, a renowned physicist and Nobel Prize winner whose contributions to science made him a prominent figure in the 20th century. On her grandmother Hedwig's side, Olivia was descended from Victor Ehrenberg, a respected German Jewish jurist, and his wife, Helen Agatha von Gering. Through Helen Agatha, Olivia had an ancestral link to the famed Protestant theologian Martin Luther, and, surprisingly, a distant connection to Spanish royalty. Adding to her family's distinguished lineage, her great-great-grandfather was the noted legal scholar Rudolf von Gering, and her great-uncle, Gustav Born, was a prominent pharmacologist. Olivia was also distantly related to comedian and writer Ben Elton through her maternal lineage. Her father, Brinley Newton-John, had an extraordinary background as well. During World War II, he served as an MI5 officer and was part of the code-breaking team at the now-famous Bletchley Park, which worked on deciphering the German Enigma codes. He played a key role in the capture and custody of Rudolf Hess, one of Hitler's top officials. After the war, Brinley transitioned into academia and became the headmaster of a boys' high school in Cambridgeshire. It was during this time that Olivia was born into their already accomplished family. Olivia was the youngest of 3 children. Her older brother, Hugh, went on to become a doctor, and her sister, Rona, pursued a career in acting. Rona eventually married Jeff Conaway, who starred alongside Olivia in the iconic film Grease. Olivia also had 2 younger half-siblings, Toby and Sarah, from her father's second marriage. In 1954, when Olivia was just 5 years old, her family made a life-changing move to Melbourne, Australia. They traveled by sea aboard the SS Strathard. Her father had accepted a position as a professor and master of Ormond College at the University of Melbourne. The Newton-Johns attended church regularly due to Brinley's role in a Presbyterian institution. Olivia's early education took place at Christ Church Grammar School in the suburb of South Yarra, followed by secondary education at University High School in Parkville. Growing up in Australia allowed Olivia to explore her creative side. Though she once dreamed of becoming a veterinarian, she worried her science grades wouldn't be strong enough. Instead, her natural talents led her toward performance. She was drawn to music and drama from an early age, and her surroundings fostered that interest. At 14, Olivia formed a singing group called Soul 4 with 3 of her classmates. They performed regularly at a coffee shop run by her brother-in-law, giving her early public exposure to music. Around this time, she also discovered a passion for acting. In 1964, she played Lady Mary in her high school's production of The Admirable Crichton, a role that won her an award for Best Schoolgirl Actress. This recognition further encouraged her to pursue a career in entertainment. Olivia soon became a familiar face on Australian television, appearing on shows like The Happy Show and Time for Terry, where she charmed audiences under the nickname Lovely Livy. Her big break came when she joined The Go Show, a music program where she met future collaborators Pat Carroll and John Farrar. Pat Carroll would later become Olivia's close friend, and Farrar would go on to produce many of her hit songs. Her talent caught national attention when she competed in the TV talent show Sing, 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 where she performed Anyone Who Had a Heart and Everything's Coming Up Roses. Olivia won the competition, earning a trip to Great Britain. Initially hesitant about leaving home, she eventually agreed after her mother encouraged her to take the opportunity, suggesting it would be an experience that could shape her future. Little did Olivia know that one decision would launch a legendary international career. Her journey from Cambridge to Melbourne to the world stage had only just begun. The gradual but steady rise to fame of Olivia John Newton. While in Britain, Olivia missed her boyfriend Ian Turpie, whom she had acted with in an Australian telefilm called Funny Things Happen Down Under. She planned many trips back to Australia, but her mother cancelled them. In 1966, Olivia recorded her first single, Till You Say You'll Be Mine, in Britain for Decca Records. Things started to look up when Pat Carroll moved to the UK, and Olivia and Pat formed a duo called Pat and Olivia Tour Nightclubs in Europe. They once performed at a strip club without realizing it until they were already on stage, dressed in frilly high-collar dresses. They also sang backup vocals for other artists, including a song by the Easy Beats. When Pat's visa expired, she had to return to Australia, but Olivia stayed in Britain to continue her solo career. Olivia joined a group called Tomorrow, put together by an American producer, Don Kirshner. In 1970, the group starred in a science fiction musical movie called Tomorrow and recorded a soundtrack album. Sadly, neither the movie nor the album was successful, and the group broke up. Following the breakup, Olivia released her first solo album, If Not For You, and the title song written by Bob Dylan became her first big hit. She followed it with another hit, Banks of the Ohio, which was very popular in the UK and Australia. She was named the Best British Female Vocalist 2 years later in a row by Record Mirror magazine. She also appeared often on Cliff Richard's show, It's Cliff Richard, and starred with him in the telefilm The Case. Olivia's next few songs didn't do as well in the US, but in 1973, she released Let Me Be There, which changed everything. The song became a top 10 hit in the US and won her a Grammy for Best Country Female and an award for Most Promising Female Vocalist. Her album, Let Me Be There, was a hit too, especially in the US and Canada. Olivia represented the UK in the Eurovision Song Contest with the song Long Live Love. Even though she didn't like the song as it was chosen by the British public, she finished 4th in the contest behind ABBA's winning song, Waterloo. All 6 Eurovision songs Olivia sang were recorded and included on her Long Live Love album, her first with EMI Records. Olivia Newton-John's album, Long Live Love, was released in the US and Canada with a different name, If You Love Me Let Me Know. The album didn't include her Eurovision songs. Instead, it had new country-style tunes, hoping to ride the wave of her hit song, Let Me Be There. The album was a mix of songs from her other albums, with only the title track being new. Here's the kicker. The album hit #1 on both the pop and country charts. The title song, If You Love Me Let Me Know, was the first single, and did well. It reached #5 on the pop chart, #2 on the country chart, and #2 on the adult contemporary AC chart. Where it gets interesting is her next single, I Honestly Love You, which became her signature song written by Jeff Barry and Peter Allen. It became her first #1 hit on the pop chart, stayed at the top for 2 weeks, and won her 2 Grammy Awards. In her 2018 autobiographies, Olivia said this song was simple but had a deep meaning. In 1974, Olivia won the British Country Music Association's Female Vocalist of the Year award in London. Rumor has it, this sparked some controversy in the US. Some country music fans didn't like that a foreign singer was winning awards in their genre. Despite this, Olivia won a Grammy for Let Me Be There and was named the Country Music Association's Female Vocalist of the Year. This was a big deal because she beat famous country singers like Loretta Lynn, Dolly Parton, and Tanya Tucker. This controversy led to the creation of a group called the Association of Country Entertainers, but Olivia eventually gained support from the country music community. Dolly Parton's sister even recorded a song called Ode to Olivia in her honor. Olivia's next album, Have You Never Been Mellow, also topped the charts, and Olivia Newton-John broke a record for the shortest time between two #1 albums by a female artist. This record stood for 45 years until Taylor Swift broke it in 2020. The album had hits like Have You Never Been Mellow and Please, Mr. Please. Although her next album, Clearly Love, didn't do as well, Olivia continued to achieve gold records. She stayed popular on the adult contemporary chart with many #1 singles and made a big comeback in 1978. Olivia Newton-John on the movie screen. Olivia Newton-John's journey is one of resilience, talent, and iconic success. Her rise to international stardom skyrocketed after she landed the role of Sandy in the classic 1978 film Grease. The story behind her casting is as fascinating as the movie itself. Olivia met producer Alan Carr at a glamorous dinner party hosted by fellow Australian singer Helen Reddy. Though Carr was eager to have Olivia play the role, she had reservations, mainly because she was 28 at the time and felt uneasy about portraying a high school senior. To ease her doubts and ensure the role was a good fit, Olivia requested a screen test alongside the film's star, John Travolta. The chemistry was undeniable, and the rest is history. When Grease hit theaters in 1978, it became a cultural phenomenon. The film lit up the box office, but the soundtrack was an even bigger success. It held the #1 spot on the charts for an astonishing 12 weeks. Olivia contributed significantly to its success, scoring 3 singles in the top 5, including the wildly popular duet You're the One That I Want with Travolta. The album eventually became one of the best-selling soundtracks of all time. However, in 2006, controversy arose over unpaid royalties from that very soundtrack. Olivia's company filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group, seeking $1 million in compensation. After negotiations, the matter was resolved with a settlement in 2007. Olivia's performance in Grease didn't go unnoticed. She won a People's Choice Award and received a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actress in a musical or comedy. One of her most memorable moments came when she performed Hopelessly Devoted to You at the 1979 Academy Awards, a performance that left audiences in awe. The enduring popularity of Grease was reaffirmed when it returned to theaters for its 20th anniversary. And in 2022, following Olivia's passing, AMC honored her legacy with a special screening of Grease, donating part of the proceeds to breast cancer research, a cause Olivia had passionately supported for years. Riding high on the success of Grease, Olivia released her next album, Totally Hot, in November 1978. The album embraced a bold new image, featuring Olivia dressed in leather, channeling her edgy, Sandy persona from the film. It produced hit singles like A Little More Love and Deeper Than the Night, showcasing a more confident and assertive musical style. Behind the scenes, Olivia's relationship with her record label, MCA, was becoming complicated. Under a 2-year contract, she was expected to deliver 4 albums, 2 per year. MCA also held the option to extend the agreement by an additional 6 records and 3 years. If Olivia failed to meet the album deadlines, the label had the right to lengthen the contract's duration. While her first 3 albums under the agreement were delivered on time, starting with Clearly Love, her 4th, Making a Good Thing Better, was delayed. This delay coincided with her work on Grease for RSO Records and opened the door for MCA to assert its contractual option, potentially preventing Olivia from signing with another label. On May 31, 1978, tensions reached a boiling point. Both Olivia and MCA filed lawsuits against each other. Olivia sued for $10 million, claiming MCA's lack of promotion for her music breached their agreement and released her from further obligations. In response, MCA filed a countersuit demanding $1 million and an injunction to block Olivia from recording with any other label. Although she had not fulfilled the contract's album quota, the court ruled that the original 5-year agreement could not be extended automatically. She was, however, restricted from signing with a new label until the initial term expired. This high-profile legal battle had a ripple effect across the music industry, prompting labels to revise artist contracts, shifting from time-based agreements to those based on a specified number of albums. In addition to her career, Olivia's personal life frequently made headlines, especially her relationships. She married actor Matt Lattanzi in 1984, and for years, the couple appeared to have a storybook romance. However, in 1995, after 11 years of marriage, they divorced, leaving fans surprised and saddened. Later, Olivia began a relationship with cameraman Patrick McDermott, whose mysterious disappearance in 2005 added an eerie twist to her personal story. Despite the tabloid attention, Olivia remained graceful in the public eye, known more for her enduring optimism and charitable spirit than for any scandal. Olivia Newton-John's battle with cancer. Olivia's battle with cancer has been perhaps the most personal and publicized challenge she has faced. This news came at a difficult time for her as she lost her father around the same time. With this diagnosis, she had to put a halt to all her plans for promoting her new album and going on tour. But Newton-John didn't let cancer defeat her. She fought hard and eventually beat the disease. Instead of letting her struggle bring her down, she decided to use her experience to help others. She became a strong advocate for breast cancer research and started speaking out about other health issues too. One way she helped spread awareness was by being a spokesperson for a product called the Live Kit, which helps women perform self-examinations for breast cancer. Additionally, she took on the role of national spokesperson for the Colette Chuda Environmental Fund Check. This organization was close to her heart because it was named after her friend Nancy Chuda's daughter, who sadly passed away from cancer at a young age. Newton-John's battle with cancer also influenced the type of music she made. In 1994, she released an album called Gaia, One Woman's Journey, which told the story of her struggles. It was a deeply personal project, as she wrote all the music and lyrics herself. The album received widespread acclaim and showcased her talent not just as a singer, but as a songwriter too. Some of the songs from Gaia became quite popular. The song, No Matter What You Do, made its way to the top 40 charts in Australia, while Don't Cut Me Down was featured in a movie called It's My Party, which focused on environmental themes. Other songs like Not Going to Give Into It and The Way of Love found their way into various films and TV shows. Outside of her music career, Newton-John also dedicated her time to environmental causes. She served as the president of the Eyes of Man-Basking Shark Society for several years, showing her commitment to protecting marine life. Even in the face of adversity, Newton-John continued to shine. She didn't let cancer define her, but instead used her experience to make a positive impact on the world. Her resilience and strength continued to inspire people everywhere, just looking at the cover. Olivia Newton-John's appearance on The Tonight Show. Tonight's Show is a famous American talk show known for its entertaining interviews and performances. One special night, the legendary singer Olivia Newton-John appeared on the show. Her performance and interview were unforgettable, showcasing her talent and charm. Newton-John started her segment with a heartfelt song. The stage lights dimmed as she began to sing If You Love Me, Let Me Know, and the audience erupted in applause, showing their excitement to see her. The melody was soothing and her voice was full of emotion. The lyrics expressed a deep longing and vulnerability, making the performance even more touching. As she sang, Olivia's face showed genuine emotion, and her eyes sparkled. Her connection with the audience was evident. Every note she sang resonated with the listeners, drawing them into the story of the song. The music and her voice combined to create a magical atmosphere in the studio. After her performance, Olivia Newton-John joined the host for a chat. The host welcomed her warmly, and the conversation flowed naturally. They talked about Olivia's background in her career, in which she shared that she was born in England but moved to Australia when she was 5 years old. This gave her a unique blend of both English and Australian cultures. The host mentioned that many American performers who visit Australia come back loving it. Olivia agreed, saying that Australia has a special charm and that the people are very welcoming. The host and Olivia also joked about Australian slang, highlighting how some phrases can be quite confusing for outsiders. Later in the show, Olivia performed another beautiful song, I Honestly Love You. This song is one of her most famous hits, known for its sincere and touching lyrics. The performance was simple, yet powerful. Olivia's voice conveyed deep emotion, and the audience could feel the sincerity in her words. The lyrics of I Honestly Love You talk about true unspoken love. Olivia sang with such honesty that it was easy to believe every word she said. Her performance left a lasting impression on everyone in the studio. Her appearance on the show is remembered as a highlight, demonstrating why Olivia Newton-John is considered one of the greatest singers of her time. Her songs continue to inspire and comfort listeners, proving that good music in a genuine heart can leave a lasting impact. The private life and relationships of Olivia Newton-John. In the mid-60s, Olivia Newton-John dated Australian actor and singer Ian Turpie, her co-star in the 1965 musical film Funny Things Happened Down Under. They met in 1963 when Turpie attended the coffee shop where Newton-John's group Soul 4 performed. The relationship continued until she returned to England in 1966. Olivia Newton-John was engaged to, but never married, Bruce Welch, one of her early producers and co-writer of her hit Please, Mr. Please. In 1972, Newton-John ended her relationship with Welch, who subsequently attempted self-injury in 1973 while vacationing in the French Rib era. Newton-John met British businessman Lee Kramer, who became both her new boyfriend and manager. According to People magazine, people close to the two cited the disparity between her spiritual interests and his more earthly ones as a key factor in the dissolution of the relationship. The pair had met in 1980 while filming Xanadu. They announced their separation in April 1995, and they divorced in 1996. The couple remained friends until their daughter, Chloe Rose, was born in January 1986. The strange disappearance of Patrick McDermott. Newton-John met gaffer cameraman Patrick McDermott shortly following her divorce from Matt Lattanzi. The couple dated on and off for 9 years, with McDermott disappearing following a 2005 fishing trip off the California coast. Newton-John was in Australia at her Gauya retreat in the spa at the time of McDermott's disappearance. A United States Coast Guard investigation based on the available evidence released in 2008 suggested that McDermott was lost at sea, with a friend telling investigators that McDermott had appeared sad, though not despondent, after their breakup. In April 2010, a private investigator hired by an American television program claimed that he was alive and had faked his death for a life insurance payout, but did not provide proof beyond their statement that they were confident. A new podcast delving into the mystery surrounding the disappearance of Olivia Newton-John's ex-boyfriend has debunked the idea he faked his own death. Patrick McDermott, a cameraman who dated the late actress and singer on and off for 9 years from 1995 to 2005. He was 48 years old when he vanished in June 2005 after he took an overnight fishing trip off the coast of Los Angeles with 22 other people. The next day, when other passengers disembarked the boat, crew members found no sign of Patrick, but his car keys and wallet were still on board. However, because the crew had not done a head count of passengers, it was another week before anyone realized Patrick had not returned from the trip when he failed to attend a family event on July 6th. His car remained parked near the San Pedro Marina. 17 years on, and with no trace of Patrick, many have explored the theory that he faked his own death due to financial woes. He was reported to have been $30,000 deep in debt and filed for bankruptcy due to pressure of keeping up with the Hollywood lifestyle. But after investigating the circumstances surrounding his disappearance, the presenters of Pseudocide, the disappearance of Patrick McDermott, told Female that they believe Patrick really did die on the fishing trip, and various sightings of the cameraman do not stand up. As the new podcast series unfolded, the presenters interviewed Wes Staub, a Canadian man from the province of Manitoba, whose picture was printed on the front page of the National Enquirer on November 2017 with the headline, "12-Year Mystery Solved." He told the podcast hosts of his shock at seeing his photo, which was sold as a photo of Patrick McDermott from his holiday home in Sayulita, Mexico. According to him, "I don't look like him, but I guess some people think I do." Wes, a pub landlord, added that he just had to laugh and that he just burst into laughter at waking up and seeing a whole controversy surrounding him. He also told the hosts that his friends were also highly amused to see the photo on the front page, and that one of his heavily tattooed friends also got a new inkling of the incident. However, aside from the hilarity of the case of mistaken identity, Wes revealed to the hosts that he felt guilty about the incident. "I kind of felt sorry maybe for some of the family that might be clinging to some faint hope that he might be found alive," he says, recalling how he tried to contact Olivia Newton-John to confirm he was not her missing ex-partner. As mystery shrouded Patrick's disappearance, private investigators set up a website called findpatrickmcdermott.com, which tracked the locations of its visitors. After a flurry of web traffic came in from the town of Sayulita, the focus of the case centered on the Mexican town. After reading the reports, the presenters spoke to the municipal manager in Sayulita, Oswaldo, who was one of the locals quoted as having seen Patrick around town. However, when he was contacted by the journalists, he asked the question, "Patrick who?" and went on to reveal that he had not seen or talked to Patrick himself, giving a different account compared to the one reported in El País in 2016. It soon became clear that many Sayulita locals have spoken about the sightings of Patrick, but it is unclear if any of them have actually seen him in person. The hosts contacted 10 people who had previously been quoted saying they had seen Patrick around Sayulita, but not one of them could confirm that they actually had seen him for themselves. Speaking to Female, the host said it was odd to learn no one in Sayulita had seen Patrick for themselves. In 2016, Olivia revealed she didn't pay heed to the rumors that her missing ex-partner was still alive, concluding that he had likely died on the fishing trip. She told 60 Minutes, "It's human to wonder, because whenever you go through difficult times, there's always those concerns. Those are the things in life you have to accept and let go. Of course, questions always come up, and that's human. But, you know, I live on." In 1993, Newton-John met John Easterling, founder and president of the Amazon Herb Company, which he started in 1990 and sold to Trava Inc. in 2012, also known as Amazon. John Easterling is an eco-entrepreneur who initially marketed Rainforest Botanical and currently owns and operates Happy Tree Microbes, which offers natural plant performance products. When Newton-John and Easterling first met, they were both married to other people. However, in 2007, they started dating and married in an inch-in spiritual ceremony in Peru on the 21st of June, 2008, followed by a legal ceremony 9 days later, on the 30th of June, 2008 on Jupiter Island, Florida. The death and legacy of Olivia Newton-John. Olivia Newton-John died on the 8th of August, 2022, at the age of 73, at her home in the Santa Valley of California. Tributes were paid by John Travolta, Barbara Strand, the Australian Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, and many other celebrities. As a mark of respect, in September 2022, the Newton-John family held a small and very private memorial service in California for the singer who asked to be cremated and have her ashes scattered in Byron Bay, on her St. Anne's Ranch, and in other places that she loved. The state of Victoria offered Newton-John's family a state funeral, which her niece Toddy Goldsmith accepted. Newton-John's Australian memorial service, hosted by David Campbell, was held on the 26th of February 2023 at HR Hall in Melbourne, and included eulogies from her widower and daughter, a testimonial to her strength of character, optimism, and magnanimity by television personality Richard Wilkins, montages of her career, family life, and wellness center, a medley of her hits performed by Delta Goodrem, and pre-recorded video tributes from Elton John, Mariah Carey, Barry Gibb, and Nicole Kidman. Olivia Newton-John will be remembered not just as a talented singer and actress, but also as a fighter who never gave up her work, has touched the lives of many people, offering them joy through her performances and hope through her advocacy and charity work. She showed us that it's possible to shine brightly even when life gets tough. Olivia's story is one of resilience and kindness. Her life reminds us that with strength and a positive outlook, we can overcome our difficulties and make the world a better place. Olivia Newton-John's legacy will continue to inspire and help people for many years to come. Thank you for watching. Check out another interesting video by clicking on the link appearing on your screen right now. See you on the other side.